Welcome to Seltzer Squad, the podcast about staying sober in the city, with your hosts, Kate Zander and Jess Valentine.
Squad, I just finished my book list of 2021, and I wanted to remind you that if you go to audibletrial.com/Seltzer Squad, you get your first month free or a free credit, however you want to look at it. One of my goals for 2021 is to read 50 books. I don't know if I will be able to read 50 books, but I did start making my list. I have a lot of Quit Lit on it, and I'm very excited to start reading and listening. Majority of the books on my list are audiobooks. So if you're interested in that as well, please go to audibletrial.com/Seltzer Squad and sign up. Nat, welcome to the pod.
Kate, I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so excited to tell you about our new sponsors for the new year.
Who is it?
So we have Brainwashed Coffee, and Brainwashed Coffee is amazing because 50% of all of the proceeds support addiction recovery. One of my sober treats this year was an espresso machine, so I'm really excited to use Brainwashed Coffee to make some lattes. Brainwashed has a 20% off discount when you use the code Seltzer Squad at checkout. It's brainwashedcoffeeco.com. Use the discount code at checkout, get 20% off. Let's all get caffeinated and crush our goals.
Yeah, stay caffeinated.
Hi, Jess.
Hi, Kate.
What are we doing today?
It's Hot Mess Hoedown.
It's time for more hot messes.
I don't have any new hot mess stories personally, for
personally?
myself. Do you? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I thought of the squad and I thought of everyone, you and everyone. When I was at Cameron's mom's house, she was having like period cramps and her mom's like obsessed with essential oils like doTERRA.
Yeah.
And she was like, let me go see what I can whip up. Like if I have one for that. And then she's like looking at her like doTERRA Bible. And she was like, are you trying to cool your hot mess? And I'm like, is there an oil for that?
Yeah. You guys can click on our affiliate link to our hot mess oil. I'm just kidding.
We should do that.
What oil was
All
it?
right. That I was like, what does that even mean?
Where the fuck do you put it?
What
exactly
do they think hot mess mean? I have so
Exactly.
many questions, but I definitely wanted to ask you.
Do you have any? Do I have any good hot mess? I mean, to this day, I still really can't go to Taqueria because the last time I was at Taqueria, I blacked out, and it was one of those situations where I'm like embarrassed even saying this out loud. Like it was me, TJ, his sister's friend. And for some reason I was like decided to compete with this like friend. Like I hated this girl. I wanted to be cooler than this girl. And so I think I got drunk and said mean things to her. Unsure of like what I said. I'm sure I went to the bathroom and peed a million times. I'm sure I went outside and smoked cigarettes in front of Taqueria a million times. And to this day, like I remember exactly what table we were sitting at. And I just like made an asshole out of myself. And I'm embarrassed about it to this day.
I have a somewhat similar, but not really story. And it's that girl that we both know. You know who I'm talking about? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I got really drunk. She was drinking. We were at a bar.
Were you friends with her at this point?
We were like frenemies.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
but like at this point, were you friends with her or were you frenemies with her?
I think we were definitely frenemies because this was like, yeah, it was bad. So I like sat down at the table she was sitting down at and I was like, we have a group chat where we just make fun of you. I was so mean. I was like,
did you really have a group chat or did you make that up?
No, I did.
I mean, that's meaner. Like, I would say to like follow through
really
on the mean chat.
I'm just saying,
but yeah, she would come up.
But
yeah,
it was more like there was a certain people that whoever saw one of her dumbass posts first would like text the other person. Like there's a few of us like, oh my God, look at this. And she's like, I have to say she handled it really well. She's like, that's a really mean thing to say to me. I know.
She was a stand-up person about it. That's annoying.
And I was like, sorry.
Which is even weirder because then you turn the tables later.
Yes.
And did the same thing.
And
when she was being a mean girl.
And I said the same thing. I'm like, that's like really not nice. I'm like, so I still feel bad about that because it's just like, I'm not a mean person. You know what I mean? Like
you were kind of mean back then. I was very scared of you.
No.
You weren't like, you can't sit with us, but like you were intimidating.
No, everyone would say that to me, like, oh, you're nice. Like, finally have a drink with someone like in a group and like, oh, you're really nice. I'm like, yeah.
I feel like it's because if you didn't like someone, you would be drunk enough to be like, please leave. Don't like you. Like you're very like
I did not
honest.
Oh, I guess I don't know. But yeah, so if I had $1 for every person that was like, I thought you were a bitch before we met. I'm like, why do I look like that? Because I have tattoos. But apparently, I guess maybe I just was a bitch.
I told the story of like how we're friends last night. And I was like, I mean, I was scared of her for like at least 3 years before we hung out. I think I was scared of you until you invited me to that party at your house with a backyard. I came with Ryan.
Was that like a Christmas party?
I don't know. That same person was making blended drinks though.
Oh, that's the party that I mentioned last time where I twerked on my couch and broke it.
I was sober, so I left.
Oh, that's smart of you.
It was like the first time I got sober. And that was when I realized that you weren't scary and mean.
That was actually a summer party. So I think I had 2 parties at that house. I had a Christmas party and a summer party.
It was a summer party, I think.
Yes. Okay. Well,
everybody there looked like a person from a Free People catalog, except for myself and Ryan.
I don't even know.
There were so many like floral, flowy items of clothing.
Oh my God. I don't even remember. But I remember like.
You weren't a hot mess at that party though. The one I went to. That I know of.
Well, I think I probably was by the end of the night.
Probably,
because I think in the beginning I was like trying to be host, so that takes precedent over like drinking in a way. But then there was like a time where everyone went to the bar and then everyone ended up back at my house. And somehow I ended up with a hot dog in my tea water.
What?
I was trying to get people to leave.
What's tea water?
Tea.
Oh, like tea. Drinking tea and there was a hot dog in it. Oh, I was like, what does tea water
I don't know
stand
why
for?
I said tea water. I don't drink tea, but I think I was like trying to get people to like leave. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I had pajamas on and I was like in my kitchen, like making tea, just to like show people. I'm like, I took my makeup off and I remember Kyle was there and someone like took a raw hot dog and just threw it at me and it bounced off my forehead and landed in my teacup. And I was like, time to go.
I like that you threw everyone out. Yeah.
I don't think I did actually. I think I like asked somebody to be like, can you like try to get everyone to leave?
Well,
because
I digress.
I was too shy. I didn't like.
Yeah. Now I'm like, it's 11. Please leave my house.
Yep.
Like now I have no shame kicking people out. I'm like, I love you. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Invite me over to your house next time. Okay. Hot mess stories.
Oh yeah. I guess we're here to tell other people's stories.
Okay. I'm going to start.
Christ.
I'm going to go back to the bottom. C writes, hey, Jess and Kate, thanks so much for the podcast. I'm in my first year of sobriety and can't tell you how much this podcast keeps me laughing and motivated, especially on the tough days. Despite this hot mess story being from 11 years ago, I've kept it to myself until now. I love this. Zoom in on 22-year-old me visiting college campus the semester after I had graduated. My night started with a Franzia Power Hour. Remember Power Hours? She writes, remember Power Hours. Do you remember those? Do you know what that is?
Those. Is that like when like every minute you take a drink?
No, so if you turn 21 at the stroke of midnight, you could go to the bar and have, where I'm from, the bars on the weekends closed at 1. So your power hour was you have from midnight until 1 a.m. to like pound as much booze as you physically can because you're technically 21. But I think they're illegal now.
Okay. That's illegal now?
I think you can't do that anymore.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe you can out here because the bars close later, but
yeah,
I don't think
that's interesting. That's like a nice little loophole because it's like
drunky loophole. Yeah. Already relating to this. Okay. My night started with a Franzia Power Hour and a Gravity Bong at a fraternity. I remember dancing at a foam party and my last memory is foam party. What? Okay. My last memory is making out with a random guy while sitting on top of a cafeteria table, him standing in front of me. And I remember swinging my dangling legs like a child the whole time. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in this same random guy's apartment on his futon. I see him sleeping in his bedroom across from the living room, and it is very clear to me that we did not hook up, but this is where I've ended up passed out. Ugh. And then I notice I pissed the fucking beige futon. Oh no. It's everywhere. The puddle is pretty much the size of a hula hoop, and somehow it goes halfway up the back of the futon. Oh, she must have been like ass in.
Side.
Yeah. Very clearly a lot of pee. I start fumbling around to find my purse, thank God, and in my still drunk shame cloud, I think I have to find a way to cover up the pee before I can get out of there. Thinking I'm fucking brilliant, I grab an empty glass from his cupboard and lay it on the futon, thinking he would wake up and see this huge puddle of piss.
That's
Obviously
my move.
just an 8-ounce glass of water that spilled. I ran out and never looked back. I peed the bed many more times before realizing that I needed to get sober. Such a mess. I shudder to think how many mattresses I've ruined. But moving forward, one day at a time, sober with those hot mess memories now in the rear view. You really would leave a glass? Like, that's so elaborate. I would just dip.
Yeah, I would like purposely, I would sleep with a bottle of water.
Nice.
Like, and then just
premeditated.
Yeah, I had lots of moves. The easiest is if you sleep at someone's house who has a leather couch. Crash at someone's house that has a leather couch.
Do you know how much of a wet leather leaves? It's like black.
It depends on not if it's a black couch.
I guess.
Just wipe it up. It's just easier to clean up.
I actually think in that scenario, a white couch would be the best to pee on, unless your pee is super yellow, but usually it's not because you're super drunk.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I was actually reading up about why we pee so much when we're drunk. And it was like something about like your body.
Well, booze is a diuretic, isn't it? Which makes us pee.
Yeah, but that's not even it. It's like it blocks something. So you're producing more pee. Like your bladder is like getting more full. And then when you black out and stuff, you're not getting like the receptor to your brain that you need to go to the bathroom. That's why your bladder is so full that your body just naturally releases it.
Yeah, it's like why you barf, right? When you're that drunk, you're just full. Your body's like, get it out. We don't care if she knows.
Yes. Okay. I am going to do the next one with a B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one's a little long, so buckle up. Okay, a story that jumps to mind just in terms of pure mess value was a time several years ago when I was dating my boyfriend, who is now my husband, and I was waiting for him at his house for him to return home from some place so we could have sex. It was a long story, but this is just how our time together went. I didn't live with him, and I would get totally wasted on Sunday afternoons prior to intercourse because that made me sexier. I had a lot of trauma related to sex and never used to even be able to consider any kind of affection without it. The trauma was caused by shit men, yes, but my drinking was the catalyst for me to be in those situations. Then I later drank to deal with it all. So crazy. The cycle. Gee, this is getting sad. So I'll move on. So I was waiting for him to return and was getting ready, which involved repetitive giant swigs of raspberry vodka straight from the bottle, chased with espresso directly from the espresso maker. Oh my God.
It's like classy and trashy at the same time.
Yeah, I'm into it. Prep work also included listening to sexy goth music on my headphones, dancing naked in the mirror, getting dressed in slutty outfits, applying heavy makeup, and
sexy goth music? I love it. What is that? Tag me in the comments. Sexy goth music?
You don't know what sexy goth music is?
No, I don't.
Oh my God. Goth, I mean, when I think of goth, it's like this, well, I guess it's more alternative, but like the Smiths.
That's not goth.
It's goth.
I think of like Marilyn Manson when I think of goth.
That's like Hot Topic goth. It's like 80s goth. I mean, that's what I'm thinking she's talking about. What's Susie and the Banshees? Joy Division. I mean, I guess these are more like new wave, but whatever.
I find like those are punk and not. I don't know. I don't want to get into this because I don't know enough about music. But the Smiths.
Well, I went through a phase where
someone
tell
me what their sexy goth playlist is.
What? Yeah. I would like to know what your sexy goth music is. But okay, so she gets dressed in slutty outfits, makeup, and well, of course, administering warm water enemas.
Oh, backdoor stuff. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So like I've said, I have sex issues. Anyway, so I'm doing the usual pre-gaming and realize I've forgotten something very important out in my car in the driveway. Having an ass full of warm water that isn't ready to come out yet. I stand in the doorway. I don't understand either. I stand in the doorway looking at the window furtively, considering my options. I am so confused.
Why would you leave Phantom in?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how this works. Taking chances is what I decide on. So putting on a skirt and tank top, I make a tight-legged butt cheek squeeze shut run for it. the 30 feet or so to my car, which is on the main road. I'm fully seasoned in enemas at this point in my adulthood, but seemed that I made a bit of an error this time, or maybe it was the quick jogging that unsettled the equilibrium. Well, halfway down the driveway on that summer Sunday afternoon, the dam breaks and I let it because I cannot do otherwise, and I begin in earnest to water ship myself. Turds and water and bits of lettuce begin running down my legs onto the driveway as cars of families pass by on their way to far nicer places. I figure it's too late now. And also I'm very tired. So I continue. Are you reading ahead?
Yeah.
Stop doing that. So I continue down, still squeeze leg, to my car at the road, warm rushing down, open my trunk. I think she meant water rushing down. Retrieve the important item, shut the trunk, and slowly in spurts go back up the driveway.
I like that she followed through to get the item though.
Yeah, I mean, she's not a quitter. I left puddles and roughage on the ground right where my boyfriend would soon be parking his truck to come inside and greet the sex kitten Theron. Okay, so she had, I guess, keys to his apartment because she was inside. All right. I don't know why that's an important thing for me. I was feeling shameful and sad at myself, but also like no one probably even noticed, since we always think people notice more than they really do. Totally. Right. I proceeded inside, virtually soaking wet, and got into the shower, noticing shit on my toes. Soggy and deeply drunk, I proceeded to drink more to forget about it, to try to perk up. Put on more music, drank more, treat myself like garbage. I'm glad I finally have 100 days sober this week after trying to finally quit since 2015.
I just want to point out that this person had like a better self-care routine as a drunk person than I do as a sober person.
Also, she calls herself former wet mess.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Love a warm water enema. Bold move.
That's our first enema story.
It's true.
Maybe it won't be the last. Who knows?
Hey squad, I wanted to tell you about one of our sponsors for 2021, and that's BetterHelp.com. We get asked all the time by the Seltzer Squad for recommendations to therapists and mental health resources. BetterHelp is affordable, private online counseling anytime, anywhere. Through signing up with our link, you can take their short quiz and get matched with a therapist right away. Once they pair you with a licensed therapist in your state, they'll go over your income needs. So it's billed monthly, and it's based on your location, your preferences, and your therapist's availability. So you can cancel your membership at any time for any reason, but you get basically unlimited access to a therapist. You can have a live chat session, but you can also do like a text session where you walk away in between. You can do phone sessions, you can do video sessions. It's really kind of just depends on your level of comfort. So BetterHelp has a team of trained and fully licensed therapists that are in good standing. You can rest assured that you're getting a full credentialed professional. I actually used online therapy this summer when Nance was on maternity leave. I signed up for BetterHelp. Through signing up with the Seltzer Squad, our listeners get 10% off by going to betterhelp.com/Seltzer Squad. Okay. Oh, right. I have always been a party girl since I was about 15. I had a serving job in a small town and everybody was super close. One day our restaurant closed for maintenance, so we decided to have a pool party. I lived with my dad at this time. This comes into play later. I got up at the butt crack of dawn, stole some of my dad's liquor, and headed off, obviously on an empty stomach. Makes sense. I don't remember much besides laying in the grass, taking some strange drugs one of the girls brought and drinking all of the liquor and crying about my ex-boyfriend. That tracks. I don't remember leaving or getting home, but I was woken up by my dad asking me why I spilled ramen noodles all over his apartment and why his vacuum is broken. I was trying to vacuum the wet noodles up, obviously. I was very confused, so I checked my phone to try to get some information from my friends about what the hell happened. This was right about the time when Snapchat came out, and I remember waking up to about 50 notifications. Oh, no.
Oh,
God bless us that we didn't have Snapchat. Okay. They were all replies to my story, which had a picture of me laying in the grass with my tits completely out. Someone took my phone and not only took a picture of my boobs, but also recorded me sobbing about my ex-boyfriend, who I was friends with on Snapchat, and posted it on my story so everyone in my hometown and also some of my family could see.
That's so fucked up.
That is really fucked up. I'm 73 days sober and I'm writing this and the happiest I've ever been. Oh.
Damn. Fuck that friend.
Like, I sort of feel weird about her being taken advantage of like that, but everything up until that point was great and just normal hot mess behavior. Fuck.
Do I have time to do another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
You just feel bad.
Thinking
You're still,
about,
feeling bad.
that's fucked up.
It really is. All right, I'm going to do tea. All right. A few years ago, I had been bar hopping with a few friends. I started the night with several super strong beers, then gradually took shots as we went to different bars. When I used to drink, I could get absolutely hammered, but somehow no one could tell how drunk I was, which is why I continued to be served all night. By the time we got to the last bar, which was up a flight of stairs, I was so fucked up, but I managed to walk up the stairs and find my way to the bathroom. I get to the bathroom and it's empty. So I walk towards the stall and proceed to projectile vomit all over the door and then the toilet. My drunk ass wipes the seat with toilet paper, takes a piss, then leaves the stall to wash my hands because cleanliness. So I'm washing my hands when another girl walks in and starts freaking out about the puke everywhere and asks me what we should do. I'm playing along because I managed to not get any puke on my shirt or in my hair. So I say, oh my God, we should definitely tell someone. I'll be right back. I left the bathroom, but I never told anyone and continued hanging out with my friends. I still feel bad for whoever had to clean up my puke. And I still don't know how I wasn't found out because I don't think that I'm that slick. Even if you don't share the story, I hope you get a little sad, get a sad little chuckle out of it.
Did your access to the bathroom have an effect on where you would go drinking? Because it did for me. I liked going to like Union Pool and stuff like that because they had so many bathrooms.
Yeah, no, I know. No, but like that's why when we would go to like Lucky's, I just would always go down the alley to pee and stuff because there was one teeny tiny bathroom and always like 6 people online for it. And everyone's in there getting fucked up or making out or doing God knows what. So I would always just go to that little alley around the block because it was just easier.
Yeah, that I remember once waiting in line and I told everyone I was pregnant so I could get to the front of the line, which is so weird and stupid because obviously I wasn't pregnant. Yeah, exactly. But I never could hold it. I just had to go. And I think even waiting on the line was the worst.
I know.
Because you knew it was coming. You were like, it was like you're conditioned to think like, okay, soon you can go. So it would and I would pee my pants all the time coming home because I wouldn't make it. Did that ever happen to you where you're like running and you've got your keys and I would get into the door and start peeing and run to the bathroom while peeing.
Yeah, that still happens to me sober though.
Same.
Like your body's like, fuck yeah. It's like a reward for holding it so long. It's like, no, we're not there yet.
But I used to pee full on. Now I'll have an occasional
dribble.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not like a full on piss down my leg moment.
All right.
On that note, please send us your hot mess stories. We love them. I also feel like because we're getting more hot mess stories, people are feeling more comfortable coming forward with their shame, which I'm happy about.
I think also just realizing that everyone has these stories.
I mean, it's been helpful for me to realize this
podcast.
Totally.
I
mean, did you realize that people had these many stories like us? I really thought that it only happened, you were the only person that kind of drank, had the same ramifications that I did. Right. At least I knew about.
Well,
from our friend group.
We probably were terminally unique back then and just thought that you don't understand.
I pissed my bed. You don't understand.
But then I was watching 90 Day Fiance the other day and this girl was talking about how this girl's ex-boyfriend, his ex-girlfriend would piss the bed. And the girl's like, what? How could you stay with someone who pisses the bed when they're drunk? And I was just like, it happens.
You were like, everyone.
Yeah. And Cameron was like, baby, that doesn't really happen to everyone. I'm like, it happens to a lot of people. She's like, no, not that often. I'm like, no, they just don't tell you about it.
True. Yeah.
But
have you ever been with guys that peed the bed?
No.
I have. At least twice.
No.
That I think were chronic drunk bed peers, which made me feel a little bit better.
Stories of people that
very
pee
understanding
in weird places.
Yeah, that's true.
This one guy told me, he was an old client. He was saying how he pissed on his dad's bed. Him and his dad and his stepmom were sleeping, and he went into their room and stood on the foot of their bed and pissed.
I'll never. This is a hot mess story that's from a normie. That's actually really endearing. So I have a friend. We have a friend who has a really endearing story, even though this person is a normie. So they went to stay with his girlfriend's family and they all had dinner, got drunk, whatever. It was a normal night, but him and his girlfriend went to bed. And at some point, I think in the night, he got up to go to the bathroom and then got lost on his way back from the bathroom and ended up getting into bed and falling asleep in his underwear. And then waking up in bed next to his like now father-in-law because he got lost in the house. And like, I mean, it's like very embarrassing at the time, but now like obviously they're happy and happily married and everybody loves everybody, that it's an endearing story. But like, how funny would that be to like
No, not funny at all. Not funny.
Like, what are you doing? But like, he was just lost.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Drunk and tired and lost. So I don't know.
No, I thought he had a story. I don't know if it was him personally or his friend who like peed like on an Xbox or something like that. Is that the same person?
Same person.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
So I guess it does happen. Yeah.
Before we blow someone's cover.
Yeah, we're going to stop exposing other people's.
Okay. Till we meet again, be nice to yourself.
Don't forget.
Hangovers
suck. And hot messes happen.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Every review helps other listeners find us. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Kate Zander. For show notes and resources, check out seltzersquad.com.